I'm behind. I know I'm not in the kitchen, and you guys are like, whoa, this is unusual. He ain't in the kitchen. But guys, this video is about my culinary journey, and I am behind a restaurant that I really want to buy one day. I will continue to pray, and I hope that you pray with me. Guys, let's get into this video and what this journey has unfolded so far. I want to share it with you all, but let's get right into it.
Where it all began, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a little white house on Lansing Avenue on the north side of Tulsa. I was born in a single-parent home, but look what it is today.
Oh wow, if you would have told me that I would be leaving the corporate world as being a district chef over a school district to starting my own business and pursuing it full time, I wouldn't believe you. But this is the reality that I have now. It always started as a dream, and I just wanted to share this journey with you all. It's so much that has happened over the time and period of this journey, and I just want to finally, spill the beans and spill the tea on some of it. Not all of it, but just some of it. There are ups and downs throughout this journey, but they didn't break me. They just made me stronger and made me hone in and focus more on what I really wanted to get out of it. I believe that through everything you go through, you learn a lesson, and it just makes you better. I don't believe in failures. I believe that we all do make mistakes, but they're not mistakes unless we learn from them. And I just want to share my journey, the highs and the lows so far. And guys, I have done two things that I'm very proud of. I finished culinary school last year, and I graduated with a 4.6 GPA. And this year, I'll be graduating with my associates, and I have finished the school part of it, and now I'm doing my externship now. But I will be graduating with a 4.8 GPA, and I will have an associate's degree. Associate's degree, yes. Man, this is huge for me because out of my brothers, they didn't pursue anything outside of high school, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have other people in the world today that didn't want to go beyond that, but they also went to trade school, and school is not for everyone. Even though my brother didn't go to college, he did go to the Marines. And man, I just want to say that I really appreciate you and for the things you did for this country, because I know when you signed up, it wasn't easy to go and serve your country, but you did, and most importantly, you came back home. Shout out to everybody who has anybody in the service or military or whatever. I appreciate you guys, and I know that you're serving it just as well as them. And I just want to take a time in this video to thank you all. It takes a lot to go out there and to give your life to your country, and some of those that went did not return. I just pray that everybody that did go over there and they returned. And I just want to give you all a shout out, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. So my cooking journey really started in a grocery store named Albertsons in Texas, and I got the opportunity to, we were selling ribs one day, and the grocery store manager approached me about making ribs in front of the store and then selling them right off the grill. Well, I was really nervous when she approached me with the opportunity to do so, but I believed in myself that I could do it. And shout out to my guy, Danae. Man, he taught me a lot in the kitchen. And shout out to all the cooks at home, because you do matter. The backyard cook matters because that's where, the foundation is laid, and that's where all the flavors and everything come from. So you all do matter. Even though you're not a chef, man, it matters. You are a home chef. So, but I was out there and I sold out out of ribs. And so I was like, man, I can really do something with this. And so the next day, I ended up selling ribs again because she saw the outcome of it. And so from there, the opportunity came to work with the Texas Rangers baseball league. And so I took that opportunity, me and my friend at the time, we went to orientation. We were really nervous, didn't know what to expect. And we just signed up to be with the kitchen crew. Well, I started out as washing dishes, as we all do. Some do and some don't, but I did. And then soon I moved up to being a sous chef and then running my own station. And so we pushed out a lot of brisket. So as you know, brisket is a huge deal in Texas. So we were pushing out brisket and chopped brisket sandwiches and chips and a drink. And it was the simplest thing, but we would like put everything we had into this. And so once the chef saw, my drive and everything that I had, that I laid everything out there each night, even when we came in prep, because prep is the most important part of cooking. So he saw, the potential that I had, and so he wanted to me to follow him closely, and so I ended up being his sous chef, and I was doing the briskets and stuff by myself, and I would sell out every night, and the line was super long, so it was times where I was like, man, I have to hurry up because these people are hungry, but at the end, people are like, how did you make that? What did you do? And man, my head was getting bigger and bigger because I was right out of high school. But as I got grounded and I stuck with it, and then after that, I went through the playoffs when they went to the playoffs, and that was just an added experience to, it's a different type of atmosphere. So things moved fast already, but things started moving really fast, like faster. So that was a good opportunity, and I was there for 3 years, and then we got to cook for the players, the coaches, and I got to see some of the professional baseball players and meet them, and it was just crazy, to get that type of experience, just leading off and started my culinary journey. And so it's always been in me, and at the age of 11, my mom, we were in the kitchen. We spent a lot of time in the kitchen, and we didn't have a lot. And so I don't even remember us having a stove, but we cooked everything off of a hot plate in a microwave. So it was the most craziest thing. And my mom, she made it happen. And man, I sure, appreciate the times that I had with my mom, because that also laid that foundation. Just how in the beginning of the video, you saw the little white house, and man, my mom, man, she made it do what it do, as we say. Man, I love that woman, and I really appreciate her because she was another driving factor in my culinary life. Man, it just makes me like lost for words, and man, I ain't trying to tear up on camera or nothing like that, but man, most importantly though, in this journey, I watched my mom pray. She prayed a lot, and so I never knew, what it meant, to pray like she did as a young child. And so she would get me and tell me to kneel down with her on the bed, and we would just pray. And she would plead the blood of Jesus over me, and I didn't know what these things meant as a young child. And so I was in a private school, and we were learning Bible verses, and my favorite Bible verse was Psalms 23. And so I began to read it and remember it, and when in there it says, David says, God leads you through the valley in the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, and so like that meant a lot with me, because God, he leads us and guides us, and he orders our steps. But the moment that we veer off of our path, and it says in the Bible too that a just man falls 7 times, but you have to get back up. And so each time I would fall off that path of going to my culinary journey, I would always find myself right back on. So that's just the first part of it. And man, this is getting pretty deep, man. I hope y'all interested, man, because behind all the good cooking and the flavors and the plating, it's a lot that goes into it, because I look at the plate as a blank canvas, and I get to express my feelings on a plate, and then I get to put everything I got into a plate and then make it art. And so I've just been blessed, with this gift to not only make food taste good, but to also tell my testimony to people and tell them how God has helped me and blessed me and given me this gift to not only cook for people, but to reach people through food. And when I found this out, this is when it clicked in my mind when I was working, a corporate job, and I had a good salary and I had benefits. And this is when it clicked, is when I was talking to one of my coworkers and I was just witnessing to her about Jesus. Something in me clicked, and I didn't know what it was, but it was a good feeling. And it was like, ding, doorbell. I mean, not doorbell, light bulb. But I was like, wow, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is it. And so I came home, I told my wife, I said, I was telling, somebody about our son and how and what he faces, on a day-to-day basis, because he has a bone disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. And shout out to every kid who has this, because man, you kids are some warriors. Like looking at my son, and when he has breaks and he has brittle bones. So let me explain what that is. Osteogenesis imperfecta is where your bones are really brittle. And so just like if you don't have osteogenesis imperfecta, which short they call it OI, if you don't have that and you trip and fall, you can just get back up and nothing, you're okay, hopefully. But someone with OI, when they fall, they can potentially break a bone and it can be really bad. So my son has that. And so with that being said, I've watched him go through this, and this joker can pray. Man, when he breaks, this dude prays like no other. And it's like, he knows who to call on, in his weakest moment. And when he's on the mountaintop, he still knows who to call on. And so me, as just being his dad and his mom, we get faith even through him. It just builds our faith and it just builds our bond together as a family. And so, man, that's just, also a part of the reason I wanted to go into culinary school also. And so when I was telling my coworker about it, some things she didn't agree, but everybody's not going to agree with the word of God, and that's okay. But as long as you plant the seed, there will come a time when they go back and have a time to reflect on the conversations in their day, and they will remember that. And as long as you plant the seed, I believe that you have done what you need to do. And so as long as you continue to be nice to them and to pray for them, that seed it'll be watered and it will grow. And so there will come a season where you harvest, and you want to harvest a good harvest. So once I came home, told my wife about, what I had experienced this particular day, things started shaking up in my world. And man, I just went to work every day, and I gave it my all. And management changed, things changed, and I was adapting to it, but something, it just didn't feel right. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? I am going to pray my way out of this situation, and I'm going to pray that God opens the door, and I just want to be in His will. And I told my wife, I said, I think cooking is a way to get into cooking starts a conversation. And that conversation is when it opens the door where you can share the gospel of Jesus with somebody. and you can share your testimony and how God has changed your life and what he has done in your life. And she said, yeah. And we just started praying, and God just started opening doors. And I was like, me and my wife, we looked at each other and was like, oh, wow, like, is this really happening? Like, pinch me. Man, I just didn't believe it, and, the ball started rolling, and I just, quickly realized that this is bigger than me. I always prayed to be in God's will, and I have gotten out of the will of God before, and man, I had lost everything. I lost everything but my family. I had a nice truck, I lost that. I lost a lot of stuff, and it just, our landlord wanted to sell our house, and he didn't care, about anything. He just wanted to sell the house because he owned it. I mean, okay. But, I going through a hard time, and I was at rock bottom. I just put my arms around him, and I said, man, we just have to have faith. In my weakest moment, I'm telling somebody that we have to have faith. And I don't know, if he believed in Jesus or not, but it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to tell him that, we have to have faith. And there we go again. I'm sitting here sowing a seed into somebody and not even knowing it. So it's like, this is my purpose. And I didn't realize it at the time, because that was way before I started cooking and being a district chef. And that job was so fun, man. I loved being around the kids. I loved building, relationship with the kids. Some of the kids were troubled, and I loved telling them, about my story and helping them. Because to me, it's just more than food. People have a soul. You have a soul. And so to feed that soul or try to help them understand the gospel and how God has touched my life and what he did for me, he can do it for you, because Jesus is not
Come on, brother, get it right.
Of no person. He's not a respecter of person, I'm sorry. So it's like, man, this is bigger than me. And so, I just continued to pray, and me and my wife talked, and we talked to our pastor and things like that. And she said, hey, you're gonna be able to work for yourself, and you can just focus on your business. And I said, oh, wow. So I turned in my 2 weeks notice, and during this 2 weeks, it was like, this is really happening. Again, pinch me, okay? This is really happening. And so once I turned in my 2 weeks notice, I messaged the guy, James, and we were speaking really closely because I was watching his journey. He's a photographer out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to you, man. I like what you're doing. Keep up your work, man, what you're doing. He walked away from his corporate job too, and to just see his story, and his journey unfold, and what God is doing in his life, because he faced a lot of things also. And so just to see him do it, and I was like, man, I want to be like that one day. I want to have that opportunity one day, because it was somebody that I knew, like personally. And so, it was other people in our church that, God has done really big things in their lives and their careers, and that motivated me to continue to pray. And I know that my time will come, because God, he's moving, and he says that he will give you the desires of your heart. But the desires of your heart also have to line up with the will of God. And if they don't line up with the will of God, then I don't know how that works out. But I just want them to line up with the will of God. Anything that I do, I want to glorify God and give him all the praise and the glory, because he deserves it. He paid a price for me that I could never pay, And so here I am, about 2 and a half months in. of working for myself, and I have a meal prep company and I have a catering company. It's all under the same name. Food is medicine. It's just crazy how like I prayed and I wished and I was just kept on praying and fasting that God would open a door. And when He opened the door, man, I would be crazy to just stay at a job that I was happy there, and it has had its ups and downs, but that's with everything. And so, man, I would be crazy not to just take the opportunity. And it's been so rewarding to just make a video like this and to have the courage to step in front of the camera. And that was another thing. I would make a video and I would not make a video because I was scared to get in front of the camera. But I just want to, face all my fears head on. And my testimony is just not my testimony. My testimony can help you and anybody else who watches this video, because you can watch this video and then tell somebody else. And so I just want to plant a seed that can keep on going, and bless other people to see, my journey as it continues to unfold. But, as I think back when I worked for the Texas Rangers, feeding the players and the staff, they're used to like fine dining food. And so it made me step up my A game in a major way. And that's what led me to go to culinary school. After the years, I had a lot of jobs in between. And so I honed in. Once I lost everything, I honed in on what I really wanted to do, because, my wife, she said, hey, you need to find something that, you love to do instead of doing a million different things. At first, I got mad and it's like, man, but I said, okay, yeah, you're right. And so I did. And she came home one day and I said, hey, I signed up for culinary school. She said, nah. And I said, I really did. Then I gave her my start date and everything, and I paid the $25 application fee. And then last year I graduated with a 4.0 GPA, as I said in the beginning of the video. 4.6 GPA. And then this time I topped that by 2 points, and I'm graduating with a 4.8 GPA after my internship, which I'm halfway done with that. And man, I just give all glory and praise to God for this and what He has done in my life, in my family's life, and what He continues to do. Man, and I look forward to updating you all on my journey. And it's just, sometimes it's hard to be consistent, because I get in my own way, and self-doubt is real. And the more I pray, the more I stay close to God and let Him order my steps. I get more and more faith in building my faith in prayer, because self-doubt has no residence here. It has to go. And, in the name of Jesus, it has to go. If you deal with fear of taking that leap and just going out and doing, working for yourself and having your own company, just pray about it first and let God open that door. Don't take it into your own hands, even though you may be talented. Don't take it into your own hands. Let God do it, because He will give you the desires of your heart if it lines up with His will, because we want to give Him all the glory and the praise. Guys, I didn't develop this talent on my own. I didn't do any of that. This is a God-given talent, and I want to use it for the glory of God, not personal use, not to say, hey, I did this or I did that. This is all solely everything goes to the glory of God. I thank Jesus for what He has done for me and my family. And guys, I'm gonna call it on this video because I don't want to get too long-winded. But guys, just like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, I'm gonna drop another cooking video, so you better be ready for it. It's gonna be really good, healthy, and it's gonna be something like a budget meal, a family budget meal, easy, that you can make. Doesn't cost you that much. Guys, stay forward. Looking forward to this video. Man, my words is all messed up. All right, man, I'll see y'all later. Bye.